In this video, I'm going to show you how to use an IoT component for the Wahoo fitness scale that is included in RadStudio 10.1 Berlin's Get It library. We can go to Tools, Get It Package Manager. We can see all the different libraries and tools and components that are available to install from the Get It library. Click on the Internet of Things to sort by category, and we can see the different devices that are available from different manufacturers where we have built component wrappers and sample applications for you to learn how to build and integrate these devices into your own multi-device applications. So if we skip over to the different components, we'll see that one of these components is the Wahoo Balance Smart Scale by Wahoo Fitness. You can see information about it. It's part of our ThingConnect collection of components. So we click the Install button, brings up a license agreement. We can agree to the license agreement, and it will now download, compile the component packages. And each of the IoT components that we have comes with a demo sample application that was generated so that you can learn more about how to work with the device and the components themselves to integrate them into your own custom applications. So we'll click the Close button. Now it says that it's installed. We could choose later, if we're not using that component anymore, to uninstall it. And then inside of the IDE, we're left with a sample application that was included as part of using the device. It includes two components: the Bluetooth Device Discovery Manager component, which is used to look for Bluetooth LE components. And then we have the Wahoo Weight Scale Monitor component, which will let us get the information about the scale, including its different services and properties. And if it has any notification or indication properties, then we can subscribe to those services and properties. So for example, the weight scale weight, we can read it one time, or we could get updates from the scale, since the weight itself is a notification property. The click to discover Bluetooth LE devices button will go and call the Discover Devices method of the Device Discovery Manager. And then on the device discovery, if there's an error, we have a general handler. For each of the specific IoT components, there are several different events: on device connected, on device disconnect, on device discovered, firmware revision update, and so on. We can also use it to get the weight measurement update. So when the device is connected, we'll just enable the service combo box and property combo box and visible the disconnect button so that we can connect and disconnect. On the weight measurement update that we can subscribe to, we'll just simply get the value via the weight measurement update handler, the value that comes from the device itself, and we can add that to, in this case, a memo that's on the user interface. We can also see the specific property value if we read it. Down here is subscribe and unsubscribe. So each of these are combo boxes in the demo that will enumerate the different services and properties for that service. And if it has a subscription update, then the services and properties we can subscribe and unsubscribe to. The subscribe button just says use the weight scale monitor component and call the subscribe temperature measurement method. And that's implemented inside the component itself. And then we disable some of the buttons and enable the unsubscribe. So the source code demo is there to help you see how to use the component, in this case, the Wahoo weight scale. You can go in and customize this demo if you want, or you can just take the code that's behind it and the components and integrate those into your own multi-device application. So this is what this application will look like on OS X, or what it looks like on Windows, and then you can go and set it up. And then you can go and set up the layout for iPhone, Android phone, tablets, and so on. So there's the layout for my iPhone 4.7 for my iPhone 6. You can also set up other layouts as well. I'm going to go over into my target platforms, and first I'm going to enable the OS X. My Macintosh is Bluetooth LE enabled. So let's go and compile and run this application on OS X. And here's the OS X version. We'll click to discover the Bluetooth LE devices. And there's the Wahoo scale. Then we can go and click on the device. And now these combo boxes will display services available. For example, the battery service. We can get the battery level and read that. So it's got a 97% battery level. We can go and choose the service to subscribe to. In this case, it has a custom UUID. The weight service is not GAT standard in the Bluetooth LE nomenclature. So we display the UUID for it. And we can do two things, get the weight measure and the temperature measure. So what we'll do is click subscribe to the weight. And as I step on the scale, you'll see the weight showing up in pounds. And then back in the IDE, I wanted to show you one other event, which is the on weight measurement update. Again, notice that it has two if statements. One is if we're just using the first property combo box to do a read to get the weight measurement, we'll just get the value for the weight that's currently there. The second if statement tests to see if we've selected the weight measurement from the notifications subscribe combo box. And then in this case, we'll update the value down in the second memo box. And down in our component palette in the Internet of Things, I previously installed the polar heart rate monitor component from Get-It. And now I've also got the Wahoo scale component. So let's go to the iOS device. Here's my iPhone 6. And let's go and build this application for iOS. And we can click the button to discover Bluetooth LE devices. There's our Wahoo scale. And we can go down to the service and see our choices there. Battery service, device information. Get the manufacturer, serial number. All of these are properties that are available through the component interface. And we want to get the weight measurement. And we'll subscribe to the weight, step on the scale, and we start reading out the weight measurements as I step on the scale and let off a little until it finally stabilizes. If I go back to my project, enable the Android target, I've got my Samsung Galaxy S4. Then we can go and look at what it'd look like at design time on an Android phone. So it's got the Android look and feel for the combo boxes, for the buttons, for the memos, and so on. Same source code, just different layout. I'll select my Galaxy S4 Android device, and let's hit compile and run. So let's click on the Discover Bluetooth LE devices, in this case looking for the Wahoo fitness scale. Finds the Wahoo scale. We'll click on it to connect to it. It says we're connected. The disconnect button appears. We can go down and choose the service, for example, the battery service. Get the battery level, read it. Go down to the subscribe interface. Let's subscribe to that, again, UUID, and that will get us our choices of weight measurement, temperature measurement. And we can subscribe to it and start stepping on the scale. And we'll see again the weight coming in till finally the weight stabilizes and we don't get any more notifications, and we can use that weight for whatever our application wants to do with it. So here in the IDE, we've seen the installation of the IoT component for the Wahoo weight scale monitor from the Get-It package manager. Seen some of the code behind for working with the Bluetooth Discovery manager and the weight scale monitor components. We've looked at the code behind in this sample demo that shows you the functionality that you can use in your own applications. And then you can take these components and the code behind to integrate these IoT devices into your own applications, your own user interface, and use it across multiple devices. And all of these IoT components are available in the Get-It package manager for different devices: door locks, heart rate monitors, gas sensors, temperature monitors, weight scales, heart rate monitors, fitness devices, and so on. So these are the IoT devices where we provide you a component and runtime library for each specific component. You can also still use the lower level Bluetooth LE runtime and T Bluetooth LE component in your application that have been in our recent releases. Or you can start using the components that we've created as part of our ThingConnect line for Internet of Things devices.